What is up, guys? It's Tom here and welcome to a football talk video, and today's topic is that Leicester City have sacked Claudio Ranieri. This is an incredible story. Let me know, what do you think about this in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with the Leicester City owners in sacking Claudio Ranieri? This is just my opinion, but I want to hear your opinion as well. These football talk videos are also about you guys. I love reading your comments, and you can also reply to other people's opinions and comments in the comments below. And I'm really looking forward to reading your comments about this, because this is a hot topic right now in the football world. In my opinion, I think it's a disgraceful. I think it's a disgraceful and unacceptable decision. Claudio Ranieri deserved to at least get until the end of the season. And yes, if Leicester City get relegated, maybe then you can justify sacking him. But right now, when they are not even in the relegation zone, they are actually one game away from potentially making it into the Champions League quarterfinals. And Leicester City at the moment are where they are supposed to be, in and around the relegation zone, just above the relegation zone. Last season was the exception. Last season was a miracle, the biggest football achievement, in my opinion, that ever happened in the history of football. To go from the second division, the English Championship, to winning the Premier League title in 2 seasons with a budget just a fraction of any of the top 6, but even any of the top 10, usually top 10 Premier League sides, is nothing short of incredible. They should be putting a statue of Claudio Ranieri in front of the Leicester City Stadium. They should rename the stadium to Claudio Ranieri Stadium. That's how big an achievement it was to win the Premier League title with Leicester City, in my honest opinion. Leicester City's whole squad cost less than, for example, Raheem Sterling, or less than some of the big players at any of the other top 6 clubs. So I think Claudio Ranieri achieved something really special. And I think this shows where modern football is. It's more a business and not, a football club. In terms of, the owners care about money, care about revenue, and they would be hit quite hard if they went down to the championship, and they are basically risking the wrath of the fans and the anger of the fans and the footballing public in that second Claudio Ranieri. And I'm also hearing rumors that they are also holding talks with Roberto Mancini. I think they already have a manager lined up, and it could be Mancini, who is another Italian. But Ranieri doesn't deserve to get sacked. Half of the players should get sacked at Leicester City, in my opinion, because yes, N'Golo Kante was an integral part of that title-winning side, and he was a brilliant player. He, improved all the players around him, and he went to Chelsea, and now Chelsea are almost certainly going to be Premier League champions. But the other players have to be held accountable for this. Don't tell me that Mahrez, Vardy, Drinkwater, Huth, Morgan, basically I could mention almost the whole Leicester City side, are playing with as much hunger, as much desire, as much motivation, as much application as they were last season. It's pretty obvious that some of the players just relaxed, sat back and thought that, they have achieved everything they have dreamed about as a footballer. But you should, as a professional footballer, you have a duty to represent the football club that you are representing in the best way possible. That's why they are earning, some of them, 10 times as much as before they became Premier League champions. And I think it's just so sad for Claudio Ranieri that the players, just stopped, working as hard as they were. And it was pretty obvious from the first day of the season that they were just focused and concentrated on the Champions League. They thought that the Premier League is not a challenge anymore. We won it last season, so what else do we do? And maybe the players thought that they are just too good to go down. So And you know, as much as they had winning momentum last season, this season they, as soon as you get into this losing momentum and the losing downward spiral, it's very hard to get out of it. And Ranieri tried everything, and you could argue that, you know, Mourinho won the Premier League title with Chelsea and he got sacked in the next season. But Mourinho's antics, what he did off the pitch and what he did in the interviews and what he did was, you know, a lot more volatile and a lot more, you know, aggressive. Claudio Ranieri is a classy man, a classy guy. I always watch his interviews and he comes across as a really nice, really classy manager. He has loads of experience, and it's so weird to see him getting sacked after what I thought that he would be manager of Leicester City for at least the next 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And it's not like Leicester City are going to be bankrupt if they go down to the Championship. So this is where I don't understand, you know, the owners, because surely they can afford to get relegated. They earned incredible amounts of money winning the Premier League title. They earned incredible amounts of money getting through to the last 16 of the Champions League. That's an additional 40 million. And also the parachute payments that clubs get after they get relegated. For the next 3 years, they get parachute payments from the Premier League, not to fall down the divisions like some of the, you know, bigger clubs, recently some of the Premier League clubs have done, like Bolton, Blackpool and other clubs, Wigan Athletic for example. So really Leicester City are in not any shape or form, they are not in financial trouble. So I think the owners are absolute morons. They are basically, you know, trying to get as much money as possible in as short a space of time, and that means staying in the Premier League, staying where the big money is, and that's why they are doing everything that they basically can to stay in the Premier League, which means sacking a manager. And for example, Swansea City already sacked 2 managers. And what I really find sad is that this is where football is at the moment, that no manager is safe. I mean, yes, maybe you could argue that Arsene Wenger, who hasn't won the Premier League title for more than 10 years and they haven't sacked him, but there is a different mentality at Arsenal. They are also a money-making machine, and the owners are happy with the top 4. And it's so weird, because maybe if Leicester City didn't win the Premier League last season and Ranieri finished 17th, they wouldn't have sacked him right now. I heard stories about this, and that just blows my mind. I think that's so crazy and so sad for football. Football should be mostly about the fans and about, you know, what the club stands for, and less about how much money the club can make. Yes, of course, financial stability is very important, but Leicester City, that's my point, Leicester City are very stable and financially sound, and even if they went down to the Championship and stayed there for 2 seasons, they could still afford to buy great players. Maybe they don't want, you know, the likes of Vardy and Mahrez and maybe 1 or 2 other guys to leave the club. Maybe the owners are fearing that if those big hitters leave Leicester City, I'm trying to think with the head of the owners, but it's very difficult because we don't really know exactly what their motivation is behind this sacking. I'm guessing mainly to stay in the Premier League, so they are gambling on getting in a new manager and trying to stay in the Premier League with him, and also maybe trying to get to the Champions League quarterfinals with a new manager. Maybe they think that the club, the players just aren't responding to Ranieri anymore, and there is an argument about that they lost, you know, the last 5 Premier League games. They actually haven't scored a Premier League goal in 2017, and it's almost March, so it's one of the worst runners of form in Leicester City's recent history. But still, I think Ranieri earned enough leverage, enough you know, credibility to see out this season and to try and keep Leicester City up. But it's the owner's club, They don't really care what the fans say. All they care about is, you know, that they can do anything they really want with the football club. So that's the state of football at the moment. It's a business. So let me know what is your opinion in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.